Hello YouTube, my name is Big Boy Snatch on TV, aka what kind of snatch you want, because I got playing around. As you can tell by the title, the thumbnail on the video, this is my WWE War Games review and highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please watch the video from all the way from the beginning all the way towards the end. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content I do on the channel, and go check out my WWE SmackDown review and highlights, because that show last night was just taped last night. That was taped on Friday. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, WWE War Games, I give this show a 3.4 out of 10. It had some good highlights, but the rest of the show was not good. It had some good highlights for the men's and women's War Games, but the rest of the show, I got to give it a 3.4 out of 10. And that's all I got to say. Alright, WWE Survivor Series War Games was live from San Diego, California. Commentary tonight with Michael Cole and Ray Barrett. Alright, excuse me. Dead Now Forever Together, the WWE video leads us into the show. Pre-show arrivals, Team Rhea and Team Asuka are shown entering Petco Park separately on the split screen. Women's World Champion Stephanie McMahon and Nikki Bella are shown. AAA Mega Champion Dirty Dominic Mysterio, who will face John Cena in Cena's final PLE match tonight, gets a huge reaction from his hometown crowd. We go live into the Petco Park to hear the siren going off. We're kicking off with the War Games. Video package, the Survivor Series Hypes video plays. We go to Petco Park to see a colorful Protectnex display. Over 45,000 are in the attendance tonight. They're only showing one side of the stadium as the War Games cage lowers around two rings. Alright. Charlotte Flair makes her way to the ring with ring gear inspired by a 7-year-old fan with a brain tumor. She will start against Asuka. Alright. So we get the Women's War Games match. Team Rhea, Charlotte Flair, Io Scott, Alexa Bliss, and AJ Lee and Rhea Ripley, captain, versus Team Asuka, WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka as captain, and Kairi Sane, Nia Jax, Lash Legend, and the man Becky Lynch. In my opinion, this was a solid women's main event match, but it did have some highlights. But AJ Lee did make Becky Lynch tap out, so nobody cannot say nothing on X and TikTok. AJ Lee made Becky Lynch tap out, so y'all can't say nothing on X and TikTok. All right, Jessica Carr and Sean Bennett ringside referee. There will be no shark cages this year. Charlotte Flair will start against Asuka. Thank God no shark cages this year, but let me take a sip of my apple juice. Alright. The bell rings. But this match does not officially start until all 10 women are in the ring. They lock up and tussle a bit. Charlotte Flair shoves her off. They block strikes before Asuka kicks her in the midsection. Asuka bounces her face off the top turnbuckle. Charlotte Flair blocks a shot into the cage and knocks Asuka into the top turnbuckle. Asuka boots her back, but Charlotte Flair responds with a springboard kick. Asuka fights back with a kick to the back of the head before applying a side headlock. Charlotte Flair whips her off, follows her into the ropes, and connects with a shoulder tackle. Charlotte Flair grabs the head and rolls Asuka around 3 times. Asuka rolls to the area between the 2 rings. Asuka blocks a boot and snaps Charlotte Flair's leg off the top rope. Asuka spikes Charlotte Flair's head into the metal platform. Charlotte Flair soon knocks Asuka into the second ring and goes to the top rope. But Asuka knees her out of midair. Asuka starts to kick away at Charlotte Flair's chest several times until Charlotte Flair blocks one. Asuka kicks back at her, but Charlotte Flair responds with a strike that floors Asuka. They begin to trade strikes in the center of the second ring before Asuka hits a flurry of offense. Asuka hits the ropes and ducks a clothesline, but Charlotte Flair fires back with a handspring clothesline. Charlotte Flair chops the chest, and Petco Park lets out loud woos. Charlotte Flair lays in some chops and lays out the Empress of Tomorrow. Asuka gets out of a slam and hits a German suplex, followed by a sliding kick. Excuse me. Asuka sends her to the corner, but Charlotte Flair rolls up the turnbuckles and lands between the rings. Charlotte Flair knocks her back and heads to the top rope. Asuka cuts her off and knocks her into the cage. Time expires. Io Sky enters the WarGames match. Io Sky heads to the ring with a garbage can lid bearing her name. 3 minutes have begun to tick down. The crowd is loudly chanting for Io Sky. Asuka ducks a pair of trash can lid shots. Asuka kicks her and grabs the lid. Io Sky ducks and does a double handspring before kicking Asuka in the knees and hitting a basement drop kick. Asuka rolls between the two rings. Io Sky grabs the lid, but Asuka snaps her off the top rope. Asuka gets in the second ring and knocks Charlotte Flair down. Io Sky nearly slips going for the rope to rope before hitting a diving clothesline. Io Sky grabs the lid and hits Asuka with a bullet train attack, driving her knee into the lid into Asuka's face. Io Sky drives Asuka into the cage and stumps her. Io Sky pulls Asuka between two rings and Ghostway snap suplex, but Asuka blocks it. Io Sky hits her with a drop toho onto the metal platform and drives her face into the diamond plate. Time expires. The man Becky Lynch heads to the ring with the kendo stick. Becky Lynch gets in the ring and strikes Io Sky with the kendo stick several times. Becky Lynch places the kendo sticks across Io Sky's throat and hits a Russian leg sweep. Excuse me. Becky Lynch slings Io Sky into the corner and puts her in the trio woe before teeing off on her midsection on the candlestick. Charlotte Flair rips the candlestick from Becky Lynch and tosses it aside. Two of the original four horsewomen prepare to square off. Becky Lynch tries to beg her off before they start trading blows. Asuka runs in and grabs Charlotte Flair, so Becky Lynch punches away at Charlotte Flair. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair hit Io Sky and Asuka with stereo exploders, respectively. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair begin going at it again. Charlotte Flair chops Becky Lynch down and throws her between the two rings. Becky Lynch rolls into the second ring. Asuka grabs Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch chop blocks Charlotte Flair. Becky Lynch slings Charlotte Flair's head into the cage and press her face into the cage. Time expires. Alexa Bliss joins WarGames. Alexa Bliss runs down and gets in the ring. Alexa Bliss shoulder tackles Asuka before elbowing her in the face. Alexa Bliss grabs her and slams her head down. Asuka quickly kicks her and grabs the garbage can leg. Alexa Bliss drop kicks it into Asuka's face. Excuse me. Alexa Bliss gets in the second rope. Gets in the second ring, and slaps away at Becky Lynch, beating her down to the mat. Alexa Bliss helps Charlotte Flair, her tag team partner, up. Charlotte Flair picks Alexa Bliss up and slings her into Becky Lynch. Asuka and Becky Lynch each receive a dragon screw before Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss hit them with stereo natural selections. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss have Asuka and Becky Lynch on the opposite corner and do the 10 punches. Asuka and Becky Lynch takes them down. So Io Sky runs in and hits some shoti uppercuts. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss takes Asuka and Becky Lynch down before celebrating with Io Sky. Io Sky, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss, who have the advantage in WarGames, use it to dig Asuka and Becky Lynch's face into the cage. Time expires. WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Kairi Sane heads to the ring with a green chain in hand. Kairi Sane wraps her fist in the chain and challenges Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair to attack. Kairi Sane takes Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair down with chain shots. Charlotte Flair quickly shakes it off and, reverses a whip, but Kairi Sane hits her with their head sisters takeover. Kairi Sane picks up the chain back up and jumps off Charlotte Flair's back with the chain wrapped forearm smash. Kairi Sane then grabs behind Charlotte Flair's head and pulls herself over the ropes. Kairi Sane goes to the top rope and wraps the chain around her fist again before hitting a flying fist. Asuka screams Kairi Sane. Io Sky asks Kairi Sane on the top rope. Kairi Sane goes after Io Sky, but Io Sky kicks her back. Kairi Sane grabs the lid and smashes Io Sky out of midair with it. Asuka then hits a stiff missile dropkick on Io Sky. Becky Lynch, Asuka, and Kairi Sane roll Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, and Io Sky into the first ring before tying them together with a chain. The Kabuki Warrior sandwiches them with stereo drop kicks. Becky Lynch grabs the candlestick and tees off on her opponents. Excuse me. Time expires. AJ Lee heads to the ring for the first time. Time expires. AJ Lee heads to the ring for her first WarGames match and only her second match in a decade. Becky Lynch grabs the door to keep it shut. AJ Lee can't get in, so she climbs up the cage. That was a smart move by AJ Lee. The Kabuki Warriors try to attack her as she comes down, but AJ Lee hits them with a flying crossbody block. Becky Lynch retreats to the second ring, and tries to avoid AJ Lee. AJ Lee grabs her and draws her into the top turnbuckle twice. AJ Lee skips around in the ring before driving Becky Lynch 3 times into the cage wall. AJ Lee then connects with a Shining Wizard. Kairi Sane quickly attacks AJ Lee from behind and mocks AJ Lee skipping. Kairi Sane and AJ Lee into the ropes, but AJ Lee responds with a back elbow. AJ Lee dropkicks Kairi Sane and turns to see Asuka. This is the first time they have squared off. Becky Lynch attacks AJ Lee from behind. The Kabuki Warriors and Becky Lynch triple team AJ Lee. Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and Io Sky run in to break it up, attacking the 3 women. Charlotte Flair helps AJ Lee up. Time expires. Nia Jax will enter WarGames for only the second time in her career. Nia Jax runs over Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Nia Jax slings Alexa Bliss into the cage wall before hitting Charlotte Flair with the headbutt. Nia Jax then sends Charlotte Flair into the cage before going back and forth, hitting Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss with running hip attacks into the cage wall. Io Sky goes for a wheelbarrow bulldog, but Nia Jax powers her up and punches her. Nia Jax mocks Io Sky before slinging her into the cage wall. AJ Lee attacks Nia Jax, but Nia Jax pushes her off and avalanches her. Io Sky is climbing the cage, but Nia Jax pulls her down and hits a vicious powerbomb. Either Nia Jax is wearing a ton of blush, or she's got big red welt on her right cheek. The Kabuki Warriors attack Charlotte Flair and Io Sky with the chain and the candlestick. Becky Lynch and Nia Jax concentrate on Alexa Bliss and AJ Lee. Asuka chokes Alexa Bliss with the chain. Time expires. Team captain Rhea Ripley enters WarGames to a massive pop. You can't have WarGames without Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. That's all I gotta say. And that is facts. Rhea Ripley wearing a white protective fright mask head to the ring with the candlesticks and a garbage can. Rhea Ripley's gear is inspired by the art clown of the Terrified series. I like Rhea Ripley's costume, a winger with the Terrified face mask. Rhea Ripley boots Kairi Sane down and throws the trash can into Nia Jax's face. Becky Lynch looks terrified of Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley takes out a black candlestick. Rhea Ripley tees off on Asuka and Kairi Sane before Becky Lynch pulls it away. Rhea Ripley fires back with a pair of short arms, clothesline on Becky Lynch. Rhea Ripley kicks her before slamming her onto the face and hitting a sliding kick to the face. Rhea Ripley charged Asuka, but Asuka drops her between the rings. Rhea Ripley kicks Asuka back and goes to the top rope to hit Nia Jax with a missile dropkick. Rhea Ripley ducks in attacks from Kairi Sane and slams her down. Rhea Ripley checks on Io Sky and helps her up. Io Sky grabs the garbage can as Rhea Ripley puts Kairi Sane in a prim trap. Io Sky puts the trash can over Kairi Sane. She hits the ropes several times. And a drop kick that can into Kairi Sane's head. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky celebrates before Nia Jax avalanches him down. Alexa Bliss comes off the second rope and hits Nia Jax with a tornado DDT. 15 seconds are left before WarGames can actually start. Time expires. Lash Legend heads to the ring for her first official match as a member of the main roster. Lash Legend enters the ring and WarGames officially begins. Lash Legend starts to unload on everyone before picking Alexa Bliss up, hitting Charlotte Flair with Alexa Bliss feet and slings her around before tossing her aside. Lash Legend attacks Charlotte Flair before hitting a massive chokeslam. Io Sky goes for a springboard attack, but Lash Legend forms her out of midair. Lash Legend looks over at Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley raves like an art clown, and Lash Legend isn't impressed. Rhea Ripley avoids a big boot. They start to trade blows. Rhea Ripley smashes Lash Legend's face off her knee, but Lash Legend ghouls her and goes for a chokeslam. Rhea Ripley gets out of it and hits some strikes. Rhea Ripley goes for a hurricanrana, but Lash Legend counters with a powerbomb, followed by a stiff pump kick. 1-2. Rhea Ripley kicks out. Lash Legend stretches Rhea Ripley, but Rhea Ripley gets out and headbutts her. Rhea Ripley goes for a riptide on Lash Legend, but Nia Jax cuts her off. Nia Jax drives Rhea Ripley's head into the cage. Alexa Bliss jumps on Nia Jax's back. Charlotte Flair and Lash Legend go at it. Nia Jax and Lash Legend drive Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair into the cage with their power bombs before hitting a traditional power bombs. AJ Lee breaks up the pin before that can happen. AJ Lee goes out to Lash Legend before Becky Lynch hits AJ Lee with that manhandle slam. Io Sky breaks it up with a over the moonsault. Lash Legend breaks up the pin. Nia Jax and Lash Legend check on each other before grabbing Io Sky. They send Io Sky into the ropes before pressing her over their heads and throwing her into the second rope. There was second ring into her teammates. Nia Jax and Lash Legend taunt the crowd. The Kabuki Warriors hit the Kabuki special reverse DDT / insane elbow on Io Sky. Kairi Sane had the chain in hand. 1-2. Rhea Ripley breaks up the pin. Team Asuka surrounds Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley tried to fight them off. Charlotte Flair is super early on a save and has to stop herself. Charlotte Flair then tackles Rhea Ripley out of the way of Asuka's bullet miss, causing Lash Legend to take it. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair tell Nia Jax to suck it and attack her before hitting a double team suplex. Alexa Bliss goes to the top rope and hits Nia Jax with a twisted bliss. Io Sky is on the top rope of the cage. AJ Lee grabs the garbage can, but she is too short. Rhea Ripley puts AJ Lee up on her shoulders, and Io Sky gets the can. Io Sky stands cautiously on the top of the cage and puts the can over her head before taking out Asuka, Kairi Sane, Nia Jax, and Lash Legend with a swanton bomb off the cage. Wow, that was a good highlight moment by Io Sky by putting the trash can over her head and hits a swanton bomb off the steel cage. Now that was a good move by Io Sky. I love that moment right there. Becky Lynch is the only one left. Becky Lynch tries to run away and climb the cage. If she leaves, her team is disqualified. She is pulled back, and Rhea Ripley hits Becky Lynch with a riptide. AJ Lee applies the Black Widow to Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch submits. The winner by submission, Team Rhea Ripley. Now, don't get me wrong, it has some good highlights, but But this was a solid women's war games. But AJ Lee made Becky Lynch tap out, so nobody on TikTok and Twitter cannot say nothing. So that's all I gotta say. Video package: John Cena's final PLE match. Alright. Team Ripley is victorious over Team Asuka, Becky Lynch, and War Games after Becky Lynch submits to AJ Lee. Let me take a sip of my apple juice. Good War Games match with the women. Everyone had a chance to shine. Some things irritated me, especially with how many chain shots got no soul still. Everything else was solid at the end when everyone was in the ring. These matches can feel really good after there's a lot of stalling. Here's my MVP. Io Sky, Alexa Bliss, AJ Lee, and Rhea Ripley. Them are the only four that are MVPs. The only four did their thing. That's all I gotta say. But Charlotte Flair, but don't get me wrong, Charlotte Flair did pretty well. But it is what it is. But it's too much stare down. That's all I gotta say. The famous Goodyear bump blimps is provided aerial coverage of tonight's show. Lil Yachty is shown at ringside. Adriel Valiva is also there. Boxer Andy Ruzi is there. Jeremiah Estrada of the San Diego Padres is also shown. Mega A champion Dirty Dominic Mysterio comes out to a huge reaction from his hometown crowd. He flanked by Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. After a delay for anticipation, John Cena comes to a massive reaction. This is his final PLE. He high-fives fans everywhere. John Cena checks on STU, the cameraman, and mentions that STU son is running cable for him for the first time. John Cena says is his final PLE and the final time on ESPN. Cena says it's good to have STU son here and says it's time to get to work. John Cena runs down to the ring for his final PLE match. The crowd is absolutely buzzing for John Cena's final PLE match. This is his 177th time on PLEs. Alicia Taylor does the ring introduction. Alright. Excuse me. So we get the WWE Intercontinental Championship match. AAA Mega Champion Dirty Dominic Mysterio, accompanied by Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez, versus John Cena. In my honest opinion, this was the worst match of the night. I'm just gonna say it. Yeah, this was the worst match of the night. The bell rings. They circle the ring before Dominic Mysterio Dominic Mysterio backs up. John Cena soon hooks a side headlock and hits a takeover. Dominic Mysterio fights up and gets out. John Cena hits the ropes, but he gets his feet swept out from under him by Dominic Mysterio at ringside. Counterpart Mysterio takes John Cena down and taunts the crowd. With John Cena, you can't see me taunt. John Cena fights back with some right hands before Dominic Mysterio pokes him in the eyes. Dominic Mysterio quickly grabs the referee to distract him, and Rodriguez punches John Cena down. Dominic Mysterio calls for a 2 count. Dominic Mysterio starts the 3 amigos. 1 amigo, 2 amigos, some Eddie Guerrero gyrations, and the 3rd amigos for a 2 count. The crowd chants Eddie Guerrero. Dominic Mysterio punches and stumps John Cena in the corner of the ring. John Cena fires back with some punches before sending him into the ropes. Dominic Mysterio quickly pulls himself out of the ring to avoid John Cena. Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez stand in John Cena's way before Dominic Mysterio sidesteps them and takes John Cena down. Dominic Mysterio bounces John Cena's face off the ring apron and covers his ears to avoid listening to any pyro John Cena chants. Dominic Mysterio shouts at the crowd before bouncing John Cena off the commentary table in the apron. Dominic Mysterio stands on the barricade and jumps off the barricade for a flying hurricanrana. Dominic Mysterio gets Spike on his head, and the shoulder tackles and rolls around in pain. This is not good. This is what happens when Penta on Raw. This past Monday. Referee Chad Patton talks to John Cena in the ring before calling for some medics. As they check on John Cena, Rodriguez gets in the ring and hits John Cena with the Taja bomb. Washington Press then hits John Cena with the pop rock. Dominic Mysterio then pops up and was faking the injury. Dominic Mysterio hits John Cena with the 619 before going to the top rope for a fall splash. The referee Chad Patterson is refusing to count the pin. Raquel Rodriguez and Washington Press are angrily get on the apron. So Pat Patterson ejects them from ringside. Dominic Mysterio can't believe it. John Cena pops up and hits Dominic Mysterio with a pair of shoulder tackles and a back suplex powerbomb for one final time on the PLE. John Cena does the "you can't see me" taunt and draws the 5-knuckle shuffle. John Cena goes for the attitude adjustment, but Dominic Mysterio slides off and rolls him up. John Cena kicks out and applies the STF. Dominic Mysterio crosses to the bottom rope to break the hold. John Cena tries to pull Dominic Mysterio away from the ropes, but Dominic Mysterio boots comes off. Dominic Mysterio knocks John Cena into the ropes and hits a 619, followed by a frog splash. 1-2, John Cena kicks out. Dominic Mysterio puts his boot back on the approaches John Cena. John Cena grabs and connects with the AA. 1-2, Dominic Mysterio kicks out. The crowd chants, "This is awesome." John Cena and Dominic Mysterio exhaustedly get up and start trading strikes. John Cena does a strike and hits a diving shoulder tackle. John Cena goes for a second one, but Dominic Mysterio does, and Chad Patton takes it, knocking the referee out of the ring. John Cena takes Mysterio down and applies the SCF. Finn Balor and JD Madonna of the Judgment Day run down and attack John Cena. JD Madonna goes to the top rope, but John Cena gets the knees up on a moonsault. John Cena avoids a coup de grace from Finn Balor. John Cena powers Finn Balor and JD Madonna up before hitting a double attitude adjustment on them. Wow. At ringside, Dominic Mysterio grabs the WWE Intercontinental Championship. John Cena ducks a title shot and hits Dominic Mysterio with the AA. There is no referee. Liv Morgan makes her return. She gets in the ring as Dominic Mysterio gets to his feet. Dominic Mysterio is happy to see her. Liv Morgan then slaps him in the face. John Cena is watching. John Cena is watching what just happened. Liv Morgan then jumps into his arms and gets a crazy look on her face. Liv Morgan low blows John Cena. Dominic Mysterio hits a 619 and Liv Morgan hits John Cena with the title. Dominic Mysterio hits a frog splash as Liv Morgan gets the referee in the ring. 1, 2, 3. Dominic Mysterio has defeated John Cena in his final PLE match. So the winner by pinfall and the new WWE Intercontinental Champion, Dirty Dominic Mysterio. That was the worst match of the night, but the highlight of the night was Liv Morgan. But why did Liv Morgan hit Dominic Mysterio? Now, is Liv Morgan a babyface or she a heel? But I know that Liv Morgan crawled straight right back to Dominic Mysterio, so the Judgment Day is back in business. So that's all I got to say. But it lets me know that Gunther's now losing at Washington D.C. in the Saturday night's main event. So Gunther's going to beat John Cena. I can already tell. But I know the Judgment Day is back in business. That's all I gotta say. But give me AJ Lee versus Liv Morgan at WrestleMania. Sign me up to see AJ Lee versus Liv Morgan at WrestleMania. All right. It was all a ruse as Liv Morgan happily jumps into Dominic Mysterio's arms as he celebrates. Wow, they head to the back with the Intercontinental Championship. John Cena is shocked at the end. The crowd chants, "Thank you, Cena." Cena is 0-2 on ESPN. John Cena leaves the ring unsuccessfully in his final PLE match. On December 13th, he will have his final match at Saturday night's main event. John Cena thanks everyone before being with him on this ride. Dirty Dominic Mysterio with an assist from a returning Liv Morgan, defeated John Cena and John Cena's final PLE to win the Intercontinental Championship at Survivor Series. Alright, but what if Sheamus, what if John Cena helped Sheamus to get his hands on the Intercontinental Championship? We might as well see. We'll see. What a phenomenal surprise that match was. I figured John Cena's final PLE would be fun, but I didn't know it would be fun. Would be this fun. I didn't know if it was because I watched it with my daughter, who is a massive Liv Morgan fan. But it was while I was on my feet. I was typing that out. Survivor Series. They had to thank John Cena and Dominic Mysterio for functioning a great moment with my daughter, creating an excitement moment. And she and I was remember for a long time watching her jump around at this result is the feeling that hooked me into wrestling at her age. # Survivor Series. Thank you to John Cena. 177 PLE matches, phenomenal run. # Survivor Series. Coming up next, Stephanie McCure will defend the Women's World Champion against Nikki Bella. Alright, so we get the next match. Women's World Champion Nikki Bella versus La Primera Stephanie McCure. I did not really care about this match, but I did not really care about this match at all. I might as well say this was a decent match, but the crowd was not into it. Decent match, what it was. The bell rings and Nikki Bella attacks Stephanie McCure from behind. Nikki Bella chokes on her the top rope before pulling her up and sending her into the ropes. Stephanie McCure fires back with a dropkick before bouncing in Nikki Bella's face off the top turnbuckle. Stephanie McCure slams her down and drops a leg. Stephanie McCure headbutts Nikki Bella down in the corner and does some face wash boots. Nikki Bella gets out of the ring to avoid a boot. Stephanie McCure follows her with a punch. Nikki Bella before sending the WWE Hall of Famer into the commentary table. Stephanie McCure tries to pull her onto the apron and goes for a knee drop. But Nikki Bella moves out of the way. Nikki Bella hits a face buster on the floor. Nikki Bella gets Stephanie McCure in the corner and attacks her. Nikki Bella talks trash and hits a snap suplex for a 1 count. Nikki Bella punches away at Stephanie McCure and taunts the crowd. Nikki Bella applies a straight jacket submission, but Stephanie McCure fights up. Nikki Bella slams her down to the mat and taunts the crowd. Nikki Bella sends her into the ropes, but she lowers her head and eats a kick. Nikki Bella smashes Stephanie McCure's face off her knees before hitting a face buster. Nikki Bella covers for a 2 count. Nikki Bella chokes her on the ropes again. Before lifting her, Stephanie McCure grabs the ropes before Nikki Bella pulls her on the top rope. Stephanie McCure grabs the arm and bends over the top rope for an armbar. Stephanie McCure released before being disqualified. Stephanie McCure gets in the ring, but Nikki Bella quickly takes her down with a spine buster. Nikki Bella sets up for the devil's kiss, but Stephanie McCure rolls her up for a 2 count. Stephanie McCure connects with a back suplex and goes for the devil's kiss, but Nikki Bella rolls to the ropes. After taking a few moments, Nikki Bella gets in the ring only to be hit with a super kick. Stephanie McCure hits Nikki Bella, soon gets up and begins trading strikes. Stephanie McCure headbutts her and hits a pair of clotheslines. Stephanie McCure connects with a snap suplex before hitting the ropes for the head scissors into a roll-up for a 2 count. Nikki Bella gets up in a corner and goes for a boot, but Stephanie McCure blocks it and hits a dragon screw on the ropes. Stephanie McCure connects with the SPV, but for a near fall. Stephanie McCure grabs her, but Nikki Bella knocks her back. Stephanie McCure avoids the Rack Attack 2.0 and clotheslines her into the corner. Stephanie McCure connects with a running meteor in the corner. Stephanie McCure goes for the top rope, but Nikki Bella sweeps her feet and pulls her down. Nikki Bella hits a springboard kick, followed by the Rack Attack 2.0. 1-2, Stephanie McCure gets a foot on the bottom rope. Nikki Bella is furious and grabs her on the apron, punching away at her. Stephanie McCure fires back with the headbutt that knocks Nikki Bella to the floor. Nikki Bella blocks a kick and goes for a powerbomb off the apron. Nikki Bella blocks it and hits a knee drop across the throat. Stephanie McCure puts her on the commentary table and hits the devil's kiss on it. Stephanie McCure gets Nikki Bella in the ring, but Nikki Bella snaps her in the face. Stephanie McCure slaps back and hits a back suplex. Stephanie McCure connects with a devil's kiss in the ring and goes to the top rope for a wild spinning corkscrew splash to retain the title. The winner by pinfall is still your Women's World Champion, Stephanie McCure. This was a decent match, but the crowd was not into it. Stephanie McCure defeats Nikki Bella to retain the Women's World Championship. # Survivor Series. Decent match with Stephanie McCure and Nikki Bella, but not much more than that. The crowd was still coming down from the John Cena /Down results and never got into this. Even the Devil's Kiss didn't get them going. Stephanie McCure was limited by how much she could do with Nikki Bella. # Survivor Series. Backstage segment: The New Day and Grayson Waller are playing the WWE Super Showdown card game. Replay: Earlier tonight, Dominic Mysterio defeated John Cena to win the WWE Intercontinental Championship with a major assist from Liv Morgan. The semi-finals of the last night time is now tournament kicks off on Monday Night Raw. Earlier today, Roxanne Perez told some fans their seats would be upgraded. 46,016 people are in the Petco Park, the biggest number of people to ever witness a Survivor Series now. Men's WarGames match. The WarGames cage lures over the two rings ahead of this star-stud match. The Siren Wall and Flames balls you up. World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk makes his way to the ring to a massive pop. Petco Park sings his theme as he comes out. Alright, let me take a sip of my apple juice. Excuse me. So we get the main event of the evening, the men's War Game match. World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk, Undisputed WWE Champion, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, the Usos, Jimmy Uso, and Jey Uso, and the main event, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns versus The Vision, Braun Breaker, Big Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar. Now, I can say this match right here. Now, I ain't gonna lie, this match right here, it was just a solid main event match, but we get to the person who attacks CM Punk. It will be World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk and Braun Breaker starting the cage for their respective teams. As with the women's War Games match, there are no shark cages with the other competitors this time. The bell rings and CM Punk and Braun Breaker stare at each other. War Games will not start until all 10 men are in the ring. We all know that. They lock up and Braun Breaker powers CM Punk down before backing up. They lock up again and Braun Breaker shoves him down. They lock up a third time and CM Punk applies a side headlock. Braun Breaker whips him off and absorbs a shoulder tackle. They go head to head and talk trash. Braun Breaker connects with a scoop slam before putting CM Punk in a corner and hitting some shoulder thirds. Braun Breaker sets up for a lightning quick clothesline, but CM Punk catches him with a leaping calf kick. Braun Breaker blocks a shot into the cage, as does CM Punk. CM Punk punches away at Braun Breaker in the corner before Braun Breaker fights back with the military press. CM Punk slides off and attacks the knee. CM Punk comes off the top rope with the diving axe handle. CM Punk goes back to the top rope and leaps, but Braun Breaker picks him out of there, and he's a standing belly to belly overhead suplex. Braun Breaker mounts CM Punk and punches away at him. Braun Breaker sends CM Punk storming first into the corner and hits another overhead suplex. Braun Breaker puts CM Punk on the top rope, but CM Punk knocks him back and hits a diving clothesline. The crowd starts to chant for CM Punk. CM Punk sends Braun Breaker into the second ring. As the clock expires, Braun Breaker's team has the advantage. Time expires. Drew McIntyre makes his way into WarGames. CM Punk, longtime rival, intensely heads to the ring. CM Punk waits for him. They start trading strikes as the 3 minute countdown begins. Braun Breaker and Drew McIntyre go back and forth punching before CM Punk fights back. CM Punk stuns Braun Breaker with that high knee in the corner before running into a Claymore kick. From Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre digs his thumb into CM Punk's eyes and looks fired up. Drew McIntyre and Braun Breaker stand over CM Punk before pressing him up in a long dart him into the cage wall. Drew McIntyre mounts CM Punk and punches away at him before digging at the eyeballs again. Braun Breaker then mounts CM Punk and punches away at him. Braun Breaker and Drew McIntyre drive CM Punk into the cage. Drew McIntyre grinds CM Punk's forehead into the cage wall and breaks the ice. Time expires. Undisputed WWE Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, heads to the ring. Cody Rhodes runs down to the ring, and Drew McIntyre holds the door shut. Cody Rhodes starts to climb the cage and goes to the top. CM Punk is busted wide open. Cody Rhodes comes off the top of the cage wall with a crossbody block on Drew McIntyre. Braun Breaker grabs Cody Rhodes, but Cody Rhodes hits him with a Cody Cutter. CM Punk approaches Cody Rhodes from behind, and Cody Rhodes thinking he's an opponent elbows CM Punk in the face. Cody Rhodes and CM Punk talks for a few before Drew McIntyre attacks CM Punk. Cody Rhodes jumps onto Drew McIntyre's back. Cody Rhodes and CM Punk hit Drew McIntyre with a heart attack. CM Punk gets in Cody Rhodes' face before they look over at Braun Breaker. Cody Rhodes puts Braun Breaker on his shoulders, and CM Punk goes to the top rope. They hit a doomsday device, and Braun Breaker lands on his neck. Wow. When Braun Breaker landed on his neck, I think his neck was injured, so it is what it is. Cody Rhodes goes out to Drew McIntyre, bounces him off the turnbuckle. Cody Rhodes hits Drew McIntyre with some shoulder thrusts before CM Punk hits him with their bionic elbow. Cody Rhodes then lands some stinging left jabs. CM Punk joins in, and Cody Rhodes hits Drew McIntyre with the bionic elbow at ringside. Doctor checks on Braun Breaker during this time. As of now, he's still allowed to stay in the match. Time expires. The Maverick Logan Paul heads to the ring. Logan Paul grabs a pair of chairs from under the ring and puts them in the ring. Logan Paul hits Cody Rhodes in the midsection in the chair and hits a alley hoop into the chair in the ring. In the second ring, Braun Breaker and CM Punk are going at it. Logan Paul hits the ropes and dives over the ropes into the second ring with a crossbody block on CM Punk. Logan Paul gets in the ring and punches Cody Rhodes in the ribs with his surgically repaired hand. Logan Paul's hand has a tantum plate. Logan Paul climbed the top of the cage, and so Cody Rhodes follows him. Cody Rhodes and CM Punk slug it out on the top of the cage. Braun Breaker hits Cody Rhodes with a chair, and Cody Rhodes slowly falls to the mat. Braun Breaker has Cody Rhodes trapped between the ropes and the cage and hits him with a chair. Braun Breaker hits CM Punk with the chair as well. Drew McIntyre hits CM Punk with the chair as Braun Breaker grinds Cody Rhodes' face into the cage. Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul hold CM Punk up, flex their muscles, and hit a double team suplex. Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul keep up to their feet. Time expires. Jimmy Uso heads to the ring to enter WarGames. Jimmy Uso slams the door onto Braun Breaker and snaps Drew McIntyre off the top rope. Jimmy Uso grabs a Slim Jim, a doorless table from under the ring, and slides it into the ring. Jimmy Uso super kicks Drew McIntyre and Braun Breaker before hitting Logan Paul with a small drop. Braun Breaker attacks Jimmy Uso and sends him to the corner. Jimmy Uso boots him back and goes to the top rope. Jimmy Uso hits Logan Paul and Braun Breaker with the Uso in the win. Drew McIntyre then wipes out Jimmy Uso with a strike. Drew McIntyre gets in the second ring and CM Punk and Cody Rhodes takes them down. Braun Breaker hits the ropes with a wild speed and hits Jimmy Uso with a massive clothesline. CM Punk gets in the first ring and punches away at Logan Paul. CM Punk hits Logan Paul with a vertical suplex. Jimmy Uso chops Drew McIntyre's chest. In the other ring, Braun Breaker hits Cody Rhodes with a huge Frankensteiner. Braun Breaker digs Cody Rhodes' face into the cage wall. In the other ring, Logan Paul has CM Punk on the mat and stomps him down. Drew McIntyre kicks Jimmy Uso in the ribs. Logan Paul clotheslines Cody Rhodes down. Cody Rhodes' cut that he had coming into his match has been reopened. Time expires. Big Bronson Reed, the Tribal Thief, marches to the ring. The Tribal Thief gets in the ring, immediately heads to the top rope, and hits CM Punk with a tsunami. Bronson Reed goes back to the top rope and hits a big tsunami, and hits Big Jim with a tsunami. Bronson Reed heads to the top rope for the second ring, shakes the cage, and hits the undisputed WWE champion with a tsunami. Azilla stand tall. Bronson Reed avalanches Cody Rhodes into the cage wall. Cody Rhodes is bleeding. Bronson Reed avalanches CM Punk into the cage wall before avalanches Jimmy Uso in the corner. The Vision, Drew McIntyre, and Logan Paul stand tall. Bronson Reed leans the table against the corner. Logan Paul gets in between the ring and delivers a loaded right hand to Cody Rhodes. Bronson Reed goes for a jagged edge through the table on Jimmy Uso, but Jimmy Uso slides out and starts hitting everyone with a super kick. Braun Breaker attacks Jimmy Uso from behind and hits a military press gutbuster. Time expires. Main event, Jey Uso heads to the ring. Jey Uso gets in the ring and super kicks Bronson Reed before punching away at Braun Breaker. At Braun Breaker. Jey Uso kicks and uppercuts before Bronson Reed before connecting it with the near security. Jey Uso lines Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed up and hits them with a running hip attack. Jey Uso pulls his brother to his feet. The Uso hits Bronson Reed with a serial super kick before giving them to Braun Breaker. Drew McIntyre gets Logan Paul yeah. I'm blogging right now. Drew McIntyre gets Logan Paul. Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul get in the ring. Huh? Alright. Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul get in the ring and reverse and receives the same fate. The Usos then hit Logan Paul with the 1D. Jimmy Uso super kicks Bronson Reed into the cage. The Usos then run it back in the middle of the WarGames and get the crowd yeeting. That is how they're gonna lose the match. So yeeting 46,016 people yeeting along with them at the 2000 Royal Rumble. Their father Rikishi paused the Royal Rumble match to dance with Scotty Too Cool. As all this goes on. Alright. Time expires. Brock Lesnar heads to the ring alongside Paul Heyman. This is the first time since 2004 that Brock Lesnar has been in a match involving a teammate. Brock Lesnar gets in the ring and hits Jimmy Uso with a clothesline before hitting Jey Uso with a German suplex into the bottom of the table. Cody Rhodes eats a German suplex. Brock Lesnar slams CM Punk and hits Cody Rhodes with another suplex. Brock Lesnar sends CM Punk into the cage wall. Brock Lesnar sends Cody Rhodes into the cage wall and hits a wild belly to belly suplex on Jey Uso. Brock Lesnar hits Jimmy Uso with an F5. CM Punk gets up, so Brock Lesnar hits him with an F5 as well. Cody Rhodes also receives an F5. Brock Lesnar stands tall in the ring, having easily taken all four men down. An OTC chant fires up. Brock Lesnar grabs Jey Uso and hits an F5. CM Punk grabs a steel chair and hit, but Brock Lesnar floors him with a kick to the midsection. Brock Lesnar grabs Cody Rhodes and drives him into the corner before hitting some shoulder thrusts. Brock Lesnar then hits the American Nightmare with the overhead belly to belly suplex. Brock Lesnar has the steel chair in hand and crushes Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk with it. Brock Lesnar steps onto the ring steps as the countdown expires. Alright, Roman Reigns heads to the ring. Brock Lesnar steps down and stands in the aisleway. This isn't a disqualification because WarGames technically hasn't started yet. Roman Reigns hits Brock Lesnar with a pair of Superman punches, mocking the Beast incarnate. Roman Reigns hits a third Superman punch. Brock Lesnar blocks a fourth one and hits Roman Reigns with an F5 through the commentary table. Brock Lesnar throws Roman Reigns into the cage wall a few times. Brock Lesnar drives Roman Reigns into the ring steps and pushes him into the ring before slamming the door shut. WarGames has officially begun. Brock Lesnar picks up Roman Reigns and hits the F5. Referee Charles Robinson starts to count. 1, 2, Cody Rhodes breaks it up. CM Punk hits Brock Lesnar with a go to sleep before Cody Rhodes hits Crossroads. 1, 2, Logan Paul breaks it up with a low down fall splash. Paul Heyman grabs the brass knuckles from his pocket and hands them to Logan Paul. Logan Paul smashes Cody Rhodes' jaw with the brass knuckles. Jimmy Uso meets the same fate. Logan Paul taunts the crowd and turns to eat a spear from Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns grabs the brass knuckles and puts them around his fists. Roman Reigns sidesteps an attack from Bronson Reed and hits a Superman punch with a loaded fist. Drew McIntyre also eats a loaded Superman punch. Braun Breaker pulls the straps down and ducks a shot. Braun Breaker hits the ropes, but Roman Reigns hits him with a spear. Jey Uso pulls Brock Lesnar up for Roman Reigns to hit, but Brock Lesnar counters into an F5 attempt. Roman Reigns quickly spears Brock Lesnar through the table in the corner, saving Jey Uso. Braun Breaker spears Jimmy Uso down and takes Roman Reigns down. Braun Breaker then splits Jey Uso in half with a spear. Braun Breaker gets in the second ring and gets in the second ring as Drew McIntyre low blows Cody Rhodes. Braun Breaker then hits the ropes in a backbreaker speed to spear Cody Rhodes down. Braun Breaker goes to spear CM Punk into the cage wall. But CM Punk moves. CM Punk goes for the GTS on Braun Breaker, but Logan Paul saves him. CM Punk hits Logan Paul with the GTS, but the pin is broken up. A mystery competitor climbs into the ring. Now, in my honest opinion, I'm thinking that it's Seth Rollins or Austin Theory. I saw the super kick and I saw the curve stuff, and that's all I gotta say. The man super kicks CM Punk in the midsection and hits a stomp. It seems to be Seth Rollins, but he just had shoulder injury, shoulder surgery. The mystery man then climbs out of the cage and runs off. We never find out who he was. That doesn't make any sense. Why would the mystery competitor climb into the cage and super kick CM Punk? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. Why would the mystery attacker super kick CM Punk? And it seems to be Seth Rollins, but he just had shoulder surgery. The mystery man then climbs out of the cage and runs off. We never find out who that was. Braun Breaker then hits the ropes and hits CM Punk with a huge spear for the win. The winners by pinfall: Braun Breaker, Drew McIntyre, the Maverick, Logan Paul, and Big Bronson Reed, and Brock Lesnar. And that match was a solid main event match. The Vision, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Braun Breaker pose with Logan Paul and Paul Heyman at ringside as Protectness goes out there. In the ring, CM Punk gets up and shows respect to Roman Reigns as they bump fists. Roman Reigns looks down at Cody Rhodes, who pops up to his feet, and Roman Reigns refuses to bump fists with him. They intensely stare at each other as the show ends. The Vision, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, and Brock Lesnar are victorious inside War Games # Survivor Series. Solid War Game match from the man's early on. I was thinking of this match really needs blood, and they delivered that with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes gets busted open. It was enhanced. It was enhanced a match like this. Great action throughout. It wasn't all saved for the end. # Survivor Series. The big story coming out of this. Yeah, the big story coming out of this is who the mystery man is. Wade Barrett swearing up and down that he knows from that he knows from for a fact that Seth Rollins just had surgery. Yet this person did all of Seth Rollins' signature move. As to the intrigue, great way to build intrigue. Alright, they started planting seeds for War Games and kick off a tired and true storyline about a mystery mask man as we head into 2026. A very good show with two War Games matches and Dirty Dominic Mysterio getting a chair, making a victory over John Cena # Survivor Series. Now, in my honest opinion, if this is not Seth Rollins, I bet you it's Austin Theory. Now, if Austin Theory joins the Vision, it will be a perfect decision at the same time. That would be great. Now, I guarantee you it's Austin Theory. If it's not Seth Rollins, that must be Austin Theory. It has to be Austin Theory. Because Seth Rollins just had surgery. Because why would Seth Rollins help Braun Breaker, but Braun Breaker turn on Seth Rollins? That don't make any sense. The only thing that makes sense is Austin Theory attacking CM Punk. And CM Punk took the pinfall. It wasn't Cody Rhodes. But anyway, if you guys enjoy my WWE War Games review on highs, make sure you guys please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more rest content I do on the channel. Follow my social media down below in the description. And go check out my WWE SmackDown review on highs. That's that I did on the channel because WWE SmackDown was pre-taped. It was taped. And that's all I gotta say. But thank you guys so much for coming out to my live stream for the Fortnite finale chapter. Dami, Showstopper TV, and Cerise are the only three that was there in my chat. So that's all I gotta say. But shout out to Showstopper TV and his uncle for going live on YouTube for War Games. I'm just like Showstopper TV. Enough with this War Games. Please get rid of it. You know what's way better than War Games? AEW Blood and Guts was way better than War Games because that is a war by itself. And so in my honest opinion, NXT War Games and AEW Blood and Guts was way better than War Games tonight. That's just my opinion. That's all I gotta say. But anyway, I want you guys to have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang. And I will see you guys tomorrow live on Twitch for some Fortnite. And that's all I gotta say. So have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang. And thank you guys so much for tuning in into my WWE War Games review and highlights. Make sure this video gets a lot of love and attention. Share this video with your friends and family that are wrestling fans. And make sure we get more than 10 likes in this video. So can we at least get let's say this video at least can this video at least get like 40 likes? Give this video 40 likes in this video. And that's all I gotta say. And I'll see you guys tonight on my upcoming world premiere for my WWE War Games review and highlights. And I'm gonna share this out. I'm gonna share this video everywhere, so everybody can feel welcome in my world premiere. So I hope Tony Skittles and everybody else will show up at my world premiere like St. Vinny's Unicorn did. So that's all I gotta say. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Love yourself. Treat yourself the way you want to be treated. Happy late Thanksgiving to everybody. And yeah, man, I'm just ready for the holidays, man. I'm just waiting for the holidays, and I'm just ready for 2026. And that's all I gotta say. This is our year. So everybody, let's lock in 2026. We all gotta lock in. Stay too sweet, and I'm out of here. Gang.